Corruption adversely affects each and every sector of the country.
Ideology. This is a great location for Nepal to explore its potential.
Namaste. Welcome to Youth TV Show. In today's episode, we are featuring Nepal's top 7 debaters produced by Leadership Academy. The topic for today's final round of Category 4, Grade 7, 8 and 9 is Going Abroad, Further Studies Should Be Banned. Our finalists are Saramsa Pokhrel, studying in Grade 9 in Modern Indian School, and Surangana Dhakal, studying in Grade 9 in Bhanubhakta Memorial Higher Secondary School, Kathmandu. Congratulations to both the finalists for making it to the final round of this national debate competition. Our judges for today's final round are Mr. Santosh Shah. He is the President of Leadership Academy. Ms. Hannah Rose Holloway. She works in the sector of international development. And Mr. Nirnaya NSK. He is a performing artist. We will now begin with our debate. May I request Saramsa Pokhrel to come up on the stage. He will speak for the motion.
Best empires are built by the best minds. But what if the best minds go abroad? How can the country become a best empire? My fellow opponent may argue by saying that going abroad gives you a vague vision of what the Western world looks like, their culture, their language, their traditions, etc. But that too can be done through several medias, several social networking sites, several other applications, etc. When we take the names of countries like USA, UK, Canada, Australia, Japan, Singapore, we only think of development. But who caused this development to occur? It was, of course, the people, the citizens of the country who decided to stay in their own country, study the terrain, study the resources, and study everything that was available in the country that caused in the further development of the country. Now, according to the budget speech for the fiscal year 2017-2018, provided that 66.12 billion rupees was to be invested on educational sectors and institutions. But why is it always that only half or less than half of the money is utilized? It is just because people flood out of their country in search of quality education when they do not know the fact that our universities do provide quality educations. Our universities like KU, TU, Purvanchal universities, etc. do provide visual education, audio education, vulvar education that helps in development of the country. Now let's talk about advancement of technology. The Western education sector is known for its advancement of technology, but we don't know the fact that our country too has advanced teaching methods. It also has books referred to the Nepal's terrain and Nepal's resources provided. Now let's talk about the development. We are the ones who are the citizens of this country. Why are countries like UK, USA developed and our country not developed? It is just because we flood out of the country in search of quality education when quality education can be provided in our country itself. Our country is too blessed with natural resources. It is blessed with Tarai, Himalayas and mountainous regions. According to Purvanchal University, Vision 2030 provided that in Himalayan regions, tourism development universities are to be set up. In mountainous regions, Ayurvedic and mining universities are to be set up, and in Tarai regions, agricultural universities are to be set up. So with this, they also do not know the fact that our country also plans in building these educational sectors, but due to students flooding out of their nation, our country cannot provide and build these types of educational sectors. Now patriotism also comes in between. The country which gave you birth, the country which gave you citizenship, and the country moreover which gave you name. You have certain things to pay for your country, that is by doing something for your country. So I believe that going abroad for further education must be banned in Nepal. Thank you.
May I request Surangana Dhakal to come up on the stage. She will speak against the motion.
So while going through some articles, I crossed the article of a microbiology student who was pursuing his master's level in microbiology, and he stated that he was compelled in teaching students in the school level because he couldn't perform the research activities related to his microbiology studies, and he was seeking to go for abroad studies. So this clearly shows the education system of Nepal. Mr. Sanjeev Kumar is not only the person who is suffering this, who is going through this situation. He is a representative of those youths who are also facing this situation. The core of education system should be innovation and research. And for our university, this is a distant dream. Our university are knowledge-driven, not industry-driven. So, according to the Himalayan Times, which was published in December 21, 2016, the spokesperson of Ministry of Education, Mr. Hari Prasad Lamsal, said that in this age of globalization, we cannot bar students to go for abroad studies. But if the knowledge and experiences gained from the abroad studies is utilized within the country, there will be progress everywhere. In our country, approximately 0.6 million students give their higher education exams, and comparatively, the number of universities is less. Moreover, the students who go abroad can also return to Nepal and use their ability, use their knowledge which they gain from the foreign education, and that can be utilized within the country. It's not that the people who go out of the country, they set up a vague impression of their country. They still have patriotism within themselves, which brings them back to the country and they perform some specific tasks. Abroad studies can highlight your personality. You can make lifelong friends with the people of other countries. There are many good things about abroad studies. So how can we say that abroad studies should be banned? In context of Nepal, there is no research and innovation. The education is only knowledge driven. There is no practical knowledge. There is only theoretical knowledge. And as per talking of the plan that my fellow opponent said, it is just a plan which is still in the paper. If that plan is brought into action, who would go out of the country when they can see so many opportunities within their country? From the foreign education, they return back and they do something good. And when nothing is within their country, then what to do? They will just sit hand in hand without pursuing their education. They will seek for opportunities that they say in abroad studies. So abroad studies should not be banned in context of Nepal. Thank you.
My fellow opponent stated something about microbiology, but she does not know that TU, KU and other institutions are very good in teaching microbiology. People go for microbiology in Nepal. And she also stated that our educational system does not have practical knowledge when people go for field trips, people go for research in different types of sectors so that they know more about the terrain. Furthermore, going abroad for further education also does not enable you to know the terrain, does not enable you to know the resources. She also stated something that they have patriotism within themselves. But most of the research provided that people who go abroad for further educations are always brain drained by those people so that they can cause development in their country, not in our country. So most of the people who go for foreign education, in most of the cases, do not return back to the country. And she also said something about Himalayan Times, where he also Mr. Lamsal also stated that going abroad for further education is not only the answer. There are several sectors teaching good sectors in Nepal itself. Thank you.
There are many consultancies which send out students for abroad studies, but they should also focus on encouraging them to return back. Hari Prasad Lamsal himself said that going abroad for studies is not bad, but the related consultancies should also focus on encouraging them to return back. And as per telling about the brain drain, if the people make the mindset that they will return back to their own nation to something good, then they will return back. Haven't you heard about the NRNA, Non-Residential Nepali Association, which is led by Shesh Khale? He is an Australian-based student, but he is carrying out development in his own nation. Those NRNs are carrying out development in their own nation, even though they have pursued their education from outer countries. So, taking inspiration from them, many other people who go abroad for studies can return back and do something productive in their own country. So, it cannot be said that they can be brain drained and they just stay out of the country. So, I would like to say that in context of Nepal, the abroad studies should not be banned. Thank you.
May I request both the finalists to come up on the stage. May I request the judges to give their feedback.
Sarans and Surangana, good job, I would say. But I think in the final round, our expectation is a lot higher than your performance. So I hope in the second round, you pick up on a couple of things. First, get the topic right. The topic is not against a foreign education, and it's not saying that Nepal's education should be the only focus. The actual topic is which one of it helps Nepal's development. So you'll need to bring some global examples also. Some countries where that has benefited from sending their students abroad. Some countries that have not encouraged the students to apply abroad and still are doing fine. In fact, are doing great. So please bring those examples also in the second round. Surangana, I know that you have good research, you have good points, but somehow you're nervous and you're not being able to express that out. So during the break, just relax and take it easy. Saransh, you're very clear, confident, and but it was almost like listening to a speech and not a debate. So bring a bit more of the debating part. In the second part, you countered, which is a good thing about debate. And then when you mean studying abroad, it doesn't only mean America and Europe. It could also be our neighboring countries as India and China. So going anywhere, not just to Europe or US or Australia. And then when you use words like KU, TU, you need to tell the full form, whether that's Kathmandu University or Tribhuvan University, because not everybody follows the abbreviations. So next time, please keep these things in mind.
I agree very much with Santosh in the sense that Saramsha, you're a very confident speaker. It comes across very clear and you make your points well. Surangana, you are also an equally good speaker. I think at the beginning, like Santosh mentioned, you were a little nervous and that came through at the beginning. But by the end, your message came across much clearer. You both brought up some good points. I think the global phenomenon and the known fact that brain drain does take place is something that has been addressed by both of you, but needs to be more, the counter arguments need to be expressed more, and whether or not brain drain, it has to happen in the sense of whether or not there's a return back or not. Because brain drain is certainly a known global phenomenon, which can be explored a bit more. You have both brought up patriotism, which I think is a good point, and whether or not it is there once you leave or when you come back, and bring you back. And I think I hope that in the second round you can talk a little bit more about that in terms of how it can actually develop Nepal internally.
Whatever I've written, they've said it. I'd just like to say that best of luck for the next round. Do well.
Now we will have the rebuttal of the second round. Saram Sapokhrel will speak for the motion.
When there's will, there's way. When we take names of countries like UK, USA, we talk about the development of these countries. It was not one day, it was not 1 year, it took several years to develop these countries. The citizens of these particular countries decided to stay in their own country, develop their nation. As said by Lakshmi Prasad Devkota in Muna Madan, do something with your own heart. They did the development of the nation with their own heart, and that they developed their country. Now let's take a comparison between USA and India. India has 8,407 universities in total, and USA has 5,758 universities. Why is it that USA is more developed than that of India? Because Indian students and other students decide to flood out of the nation, and that they decide to work in USA and other countries. Now let's take an example of the development. Development is also reduced when people go out of their own country and decide to serve their nation. Now the nation which gave you birth, the nation which gave you clothing line, the nation which gave you everything, you have to do something for your country. My fellow opponent mentioned something about the Australia, but it is only one person or two person who decide to come back to their country and work for their country. It is not all of them. According to the survey provided that 75% of the students who study in abroad decide to work in abroad. So with this, I would like to pledge you people that Nepal also too has good universities. Not only Nepal, India too has good universities. Indian people are known for their own IQ. According to the research provided that if all the medical doctors from India living in USA come back to India, then India would be known for its medical science. So why are they not coming to their own country? Thank you.
May I request Surangana Dhakal to come up on the stage. She will speak against the motion.
Sending students outside for abroad studies can itself be a plus point for Nepal, because when people move out, they point flaws in the education system of Nepal. And if the authorities focus on those points and debug those flaws, then it can be a step for Nepal to move towards development. Furthermore, I would like to say that only 2 or 3 people, he said, who came back to Nepal to do such works. So those people aspire to inspire, and if all the people start taking inspiration from those kind of people, won't they come back? They definitely will. And he talked about the number of universities and all in all. If the universities are established itself, then why would students go out? It shouldn't only remain as a plan in the paper. It should be brought into action, and then only students will remain in their own nation. Will they wait on for when our university is going to be established, and they will just wait on until the university isn't established? They won't do so. For seeking the opportunities, they go somewhere else and they get opportunity there. Then if they come back like the people who came back, won't our nation develop? Yes, our Nepal has so many resources, and if people go out, they will see how other countries have utilized their resources, and they will think that if our Nepal would utilize like this, then what will happen to our country? And thinking that, they return to our country and they perform developmental activities. So I would like to say that students should be sent abroad for studies. Thank you.
First of all, my fellow opponent stated that it is going to be established. I said that universities have been established. And she also stated that why would Indians flood out and wait? But India too has several universities, several good universities like IIT universities, and India is known for its medical teaching. But why do people go abroad? It is not just that they want quality education. It's just that they want to live the lifestyle of those types of people. Now, she also stated that seeking support of those types of education can help. But those types of educations in other countries mainly focus on the education of their countries, not of our countries. She said that our country is blessed with resources. Yes, I do agree. But in USA, do they teach about the resources present in Nepal? Definitely not. They will teach about the resources that is present in their country, so that you are brain drained to and compelled to work in their own country. Thank you.
So in mathematics exam, are you given the same question that comes in exam? No, right? Similarly, they only give examples. Similarly, the resources utilized by other countries will be example. And the thing that we do in our country, that will be the practicality. So any development activity is going to be held, then people search for loopholes. And when they get loopholes, they keep on criticizing. So if you ban people from going out of the country, the whole thing would be a flaw for them, and they will keep criticizing. And where is the patriotism? Where does the patriotism go? It comes out in the form of scolding, and patriotism, it is lost. So development activities can be performed without patriotism within themselves. So I would like to say that foreign studies should not be banned in context of Nepal. Thank you.
May I request both the finalists to come up on the stage. May I request the judges to give their feedback.
Same points came again and again for the first round as in the second round, and one of you, Sarams, I think you talked more about India, I think, because he said talk about India. You talk more about India rather than you should be talking about Nepal. But still, the rebuttals were good. That's what I enjoyed.
Saram, you contradicted yourself slightly when you mentioned the fact that people are not studying in India, then they return back and then they want to invest in the country, which Surangana you picked up on and you then countered well. And then in return, which I liked, you then personally also reiterated and countered her argument by saying it's not, the quality is already there, and brought in the new topic about the fact that another draw for education abroad is a lifestyle or a cultural change, an interest in a different lifestyle, which I thought was interesting because it hadn't been touched upon before. Again, Surangana, you made some good points. I think in the very last rebuttal round, again, you let your nerves get away from you, and you had a bit of issue articulating yourself. It was a little confused and muddled, but in general, I think, yeah, you guys both did well.
Sarans and Surangana, the debate was not as adequate as I would have expected. Sarans, you picked up well, at least on your presentation, and Surangana, you still struggled a bit. I know you're a good debater, You spend a lot of time giving out opinions. In the debate, you get higher marks for countering. So you just all you need to do to make out a good debate is listen to your opponent. So if you listen to your opponent more carefully, you'll find a lot of points to argue right there. So don't make it a monologue. It's not a public speaking, it's a debate. But this is a topic which is not very difficult. I'm sure Nepal is plagued with abroad study right now. Everybody wants to go abroad. We have a festival called the Dasai. 10 years back, the blessings used to be, stay healthy, be wise, live longer, have a happy life. And now the blessing is very shortcut, straight to one point. Go abroad. Where? Don't know. Why? Don't know. What to achieve what? We don't know. But the blessings are go abroad. So when you have a topic which is related to such strong cultural, it's almost become cultural to go abroad, not even like a necessity or educational. It's just become a cultural thing. Where is your son? He's abroad. Where is your daughter? She's abroad. Nobody even asks which university, what subject, what's the career goal like. So again, it's not a topic that should have been very difficult. There are people who have returned from studying abroad or working abroad and are still doing fine in Nepal, and they're not that frustrated. And you have two judges right here, who were in the United States and came back many years ago, not recently. And we seem to be doing fine, and we have never complained. So there are a lot of examples that could have been brought out, a lot of personal examples. In a debate like this, it's even okay to bring out an example that you have countered yourself. Those make sometimes great stories to talk about and great points in debating.
The judges are finalizing their marks, and we are eagerly waiting to know who is declared the winner and runner-up of Nepal's top 7 debaters, Category 4, Grades 7, 8 and 9.
The first winner of Nepal's top 7 debaters, Category 4, Grades 7, 8 and 9 is Saramsa Pokhral. The second winner of Nepal's top 7 debaters, Category 4, Grades 7, 8 and 9 is Surangana Dhakal.
Congratulations to the winner and the runner-up. May I request our judge, Mr. Nirnaya NSK, to come up on the stage and hand over the certificate to our first winner. May I request our judge, Ms. Hannah Rose Holloway, to come up on the stage and hand over the certificate to our second winner. Leadership Academy conducts 4 competitions annually: Nepal's top 7 debaters, Nepal's top 7 young poets, Nepal Model United Nations, and Model SARC. If you are a student between grade 7 and bachelor's level and interested to audition for any of the 4 annual competitions, application submissions are now open. To apply, you can call our office at 425-7250 or visit us at facebook.com/leadershipacademykTM. We will be back next week with a new episode of Youth TV Show. Until then, hope you have a great week ahead. Namaste.